Everyone, it's your boy Dan back for another video. This week is so rearranged week, so I thought of making a tier list on it. So let's get into the video now. Everyone, when you think about guild quest in general, you're gonna think about clearing the guild quest as fast as possible. Nowadays, if you look on YouTube, there are a lot of videos which show that people are able to do guild quest in under a second. It is possible due to certain units which have bombardment and weakening as skills. There's only one unit which is solely per ranged, as well as I have bombardment and weakening, that is Bruno. Bruno, to be honest, is made for nuking all 5 waves in Guild Quest. He is a must have unit if you want to do good in Soul Reaper range GQ, so that's why he's the number one on my tier list. So if you don't have Bruno, the next unit I would suggest you guys to use is Book Ichigo. That guy is a monster, same like Bruno. He has bombardment plus weakening, and also the only other unit apart from Bruno to be able to nuke all the 5 waves in Guild Quest. So if you don't have Bruno, go for AB. But since Bruno is ranged, I prefer him more than Artbook in Soul Reaper range week. That's why Artbook stays second, Bruno stays number one. On to the next unit. Part of the video I mentioned that there are YouTube videos in which people do Soul Reaper range guild quest in under a second. If you're gonna watch all those videos, you're gonna find one common thing, that there is Aizen as a side in all of those videos. Aizen, in my opinion, is the strongest unit in game. It's due to his skills and kit. Not only does he have frenzy plus 2 as well as full stamina inbuilt, he also has the self-tracking vortex, which is a OP vortex in my opinion, because the SA2 it's as hard as a nuke, so that's why many people use him as a side. But don't underestimate him, he can be used as a main unit as well, making him an all-rounder. So that's why he's number 3 on my list. Aizen stays behind Artbook and Bruno is because they both are able to nuke the whole room, but Aizen unfortunately is not able to. But still, in my opinion, Aizen does the most amount of damage in all of his strong attacks compared to either AB or Bruno. So if you're gonna do Soul Reaper in GQ, you should have him on your team, and that's the reason why he's number 3 on this tier list. Moving on to the next unit. Coming to the final unit on this list, we have SAFYW Kisuke. SAFYW Kisuke is one of the best power units in this game for me. He is really awesome because of his SA2, which is kind of similar to Aizen, and as well as he's able to inflict dual status ailments, namely paralysis and lacerate. Also, when he paralyzes or lacerates an enemy, he is able to get a 80% SP boost, which makes him stand out compared to the other units. That's the main reason why he is there on this list along with the other 3 incredible units. And one more thing, he can be either used as a main or side unit, making him an all-rounder, and that's why he's there in this tier list as number 4. So moving on to the next tier. 4 mentioned units are in god level, so we just need to come down a little bit below. The first unit I'm gonna start here is Tokinada. Tokinada is a must-have if you're gonna play Soul Reaper range guild quest. He's awesome NAD unit, probably the best in Soul Reaper ranged without a doubt. And also the fact that he has this skill called Enhancer, which boost your main units as well as side units. Is a really handy unit to have in GQ. If you're not able to do sub 1 or sub 2, you need to have a boost unit on your team, so Tokinada is a must have, so that's why he's on my list. On to the next unit in this list, we have 5th anniversary Biakia. If I would have said the same thing last year, you would have laughed at me probably, because last year he was the king of this whole jungle. Now look at where he is. It's due to the fact that there are a lot of OP units released nowadays. It's kind of understandable though, because it's been 2 years almost since this unit came about. He still stays in this list because of the fact that his SA2 is OP, and then apart from that he has bombardment, which allows him to nuke the room pretty harder. He still can be used as a main as well as a side, so if you don't have the above units, he's gonna be a really handy option for you to look at, and that's why he stays on this list. To the next unit on the list, we have Sumshiretsu. The only thing why I feel like she's a really awesome unit is because a nuke has weakened defense, she can inflict weakening, as well as she can heal other members. So that's why she stands out, and also she has a good SA2 and SA3, of course. Sadly, her SA1 is bad. If her SA1 is good, maybe she might have been better than Biakia as well. But yeah, she's still a good unit nevertheless, and many people do say Retsu is better than Biakia. It's still a very debatable topic, which I don't want to explore on. Yeah, coming to Swimsuit Retsu, she's also a pot bonus unit, so making her more valuable. So if you don't have any pot bonus, you can really go for that Swimsuit Retsu. She's really handy, and also a GQ unit. Oh, she can be only main though. That's the only drawback. She can't be autoed. So yeah, this is what I think about the unit. If you don't have Tokinada and you still want to do the room faster, you should have Daddy Ichigo on your team. Even though he's a melee unit, that boost allows him to be really handy on the Soul Reaper range weeks. And also due to the fact that he has Marauder, you can main him as well since he has Bombardment. So he's definitely a solid unit to have a shot at with Soul Reaper range GQ. The next unit on the list we have Noel. Noel and Daddy are pretty much interchangeable. I just prefer Daddy because he has boost, so you can use him as side as well. Noel also can be used as side and main. Noel again, you need to go through a lot of RNG since she doesn't have inbuilt paralysis resistance. But as for main, she's a really good unit because she hits harder. And one thing which I feel like draws her back like Daddy Ichigo is that she doesn't have status ailments. If she had weakening, I would really put her a little bit top. But yeah, she's getting outdated, and that's why she's far below on this list. If you don't have all the above mentioned units, and if you want to do GQ, then Noel, of course, is one of those options you can look at, and that's why she's down the list. Most of the units in this list are interchangeable, guys. I didn't really don't rank them, so yeah. On to the next unit. Coming to the next unit on this list, we have SA of YW Shunsui. SA of YW Shunsui as one of the best kits in game. A really good SA1, SA2 Vortex, sadly without the AoE, which holds him back very badly, and then SA3 charged attack. Imagine if you had AoE on SA2 though before the Vortex land, but still a self-tracking Vortex, really handy. Yeah, so that's why he stays on this list. As well as his skills are something called Innovator, which kind of weakens the enemies every 5 seconds. That's also a really good skill to have. The only thing I feel like which holds him back, apart from the SA2, is the fact that he can be only used as a main. The thing is, if you use him as a side, you can't lose the SA3 potential, so I would rather say use him as a main. Yeah, but it's like he's kind of like IZ unit as well, so really handy apart from GQ. So nevertheless, a really good unit to have. On to the next one. Coming to the next unit on the list is Christmas Nini. Christmas Nini is a really good unit because she has broken skills, of course, which can compete toe to toe with the Aizen, as well as she has weakening. Weakening status ailment always OP. Sadly, her kit is bad, but even though her kit is bad, you can still use her as a main or side because all of her strong attacks are gonna hit so hard that it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, but sadly, because her kit is shaft, I've kept her solo. But if her kit had been at least decent, I would have kept her on S for sure, guys. She's better than Kisuke if her kit was decent, but sadly it's not. So that's why she stays solo. On to the next one. Coming to the next unit on the list, we have Lilbaro. Lilbaro, on my opinion, is still one of the good units in game. Yeah, his skill set is really good. His kit is perfect. But sadly, he's getting outdated because nowadays there are a lot of more broken skills in game. But nevertheless, he's a really good option to use in GQ if you don't have any of the above mentioned units. He's really tough to get because TYBW doesn't show up frequently that much these days. But anyways, yeah, he's in this list because he's good, and there he is. YOW Ikone, in my opinion, is a really good unit. SA2, SA3 good. SA1 is a bit bad because it has range collision. Apart from that, he does inflict weakening as well. Really handy. You can use him as a main or side. He's gonna make good impact. I just kept him behind Lilbaro because I think Lilbaro has a perfect kit unlike Ikone. Yeah, but nevertheless, decent skills, decent unit, can be used as main or side. So definitely can be used. Team and Rukia again are solid A League units. Rukia is a good alternative if you don't have the above mentioned units. Same goes for Orihime, she's alternative for Tokinada and Daddy Ichigo. Rukia could have been better if her SA1 was good. And I think her Berserker is a bit low, but she does have damage to weaken enemies 20%. As for Orihime, she is a good unit because she has booster as well as a good nat string. along with guard break, so that's makes it a viable option. Not to mention strong attack recharge inbuilt, as well as lacerate. So yeah, these guys are solid. If you don't have the above tier units, you can definitely work on them. They'll be handy. On to the next one. Spirit Society Biakia is a bit outdated, guys. He came back in 2019. Sadly, he has freeze as his state assignment. If he had weakening, it would have been a really bit higher. But still a good unit to use in GQ, to be honest. And you can use him as a side as well. Good skill set, good kit, perfect kit in fact. So yeah, that's why he stays below. Grimjaw is really awesome, but sadly I think not having status ailments hold him back. And yeah, he's a good unit. That's all I mean. Like you can use him on GQ as side or main, but I wouldn't say he's the best option. So, but anyways, he's a AA unit, anti option to be considered. Last unit on this list is Fierce Battle Biakia. He's a melee unit, funnily, but he does have Marauder, which allows him to be used on range guild quest. Yeah, so he's good. He's good because he has inbuilt guild quest skills, which allows him to deal more damage. But nevertheless, I wouldn't be using him, to be honest. He's like the last option in NAD if you really want to use. But nevertheless, a decent option if you ever run out of NAD units to use in guild quest. And Siruki pretty outdated, guys. I mean, like Siruki doesn't even have Havok. Bambietta is pretty much outdated, gone. She's 2 years old, so I mean, like they're handy at the best to be mentioned, but again, I wouldn't really want you guys to be summoning for them. It's just that if you don't have any of the units mentioned here, then use them. But you gonna need them at least 5x5 to even for them to like clear GQ. So that's why it keeps them so low on the rankings. And yeah, nothing else to say. D units, to be honest, you need them 5x5 to even like use them on RGQ. That's where they are in D. Whereas units at S, even if you have 1x5 or 2x5, they'll do the job. Kirio, for example, here has soul rate of DR20, which doesn't do any difference on her damage, sadly. And also the fact that she doesn't have inbuilt resistance goes against her, not status ailments as well. So yeah, she's a pretty outdated unit. Only good thing is she boosts. She's like the last option you should ever have in Soul Reaper range as boost. Yeah, other units are basically SP units, which are kind of outdated skills or outdated kit, right? So there's nothing much to talk about them. It's like your last options, guys. If you ever don't have any of the above units, go for these D units. Yeah, there's nothing much to talk, and they're kind of trash. But they can clear RGQ if you have them 5x5. So if you have them 5x5, work on them and try to clear RGQ. That's all I say, and that's what my tier list is all about. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, whether you agree with my tier list. See you on the next video. If you do really like this video, please like and share it with others, and also comment what you think about it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do subscribe to see more content like this. Thanks for watching. Take care.